don't be one of those people in 2 years' time, and there will be plenty of them in 2 years' time that sit there and say, oh my God, I was there. I was there 2 years ago.
Okay, welcome back to this new video. Welcome back, my YouTube viewers. Today we are in for a treat. We have a new interview for you today with a new guest, and I am so excited about this one. So today we're going to be talking to Johnny Dimos. Johnny is a platinum leader in Livegood. He's been in the company for about just over 5 months, and he's got some real great insights for us today. Super wonderful guy. I am privileged to call him a friend today. We have known each other throughout this Livegood journey. We're not actually in the same team, but we do have the same diamond upline. And in Livegood, it's a friendly place. You know, people are helping each other from different teams. It's wonderful. And Johnny will give a little intro himself, but I know Johnny to be a wonderful family man, a great fun guy, lots of passion for his business. He's an entrepreneur. And as we'll learn today, he's finding success with Livegood. So welcome, Johnny. Thanks for coming on the call. Really, really great to have you here. Maybe you could introduce yourself and tell us what you've been doing online and offline in your career.
My pleasure. Thanks for the invitation, Natalie. I think it's a great little idea. Great. I was actually looking forward to it. Yeah, look, I'm just a plain old Aussie bloke from Melbourne. Been here all my life, 50 odd years, whatever. Married to my beautiful Italian madhouse of a wife, Lucy, who drives my blood pressure upwards. But she's great. She's wonderful. Yeah, I've been involved in this industry for maybe 17 years, on and off, in and out. I've had a long career in restaurants for a bunch of years. And during that time, I was, kind of fitting in some network marketing stuff. In fact, I started the network marketing stuff before my restaurant days while I was in the corporate arena. And obviously, it attracted me as to somehow to get away from that whole corporate 9-to-5 thing anyway. But then I ended up in the restaurant game, and it got a little bit harder because the restaurants were a little bit demanding. So, but I still, in and out, I left it for a while. But you know what? I realised after a bunch of years, if I compressed it down to actual years' work, it might be, 10. I probably wasted 7, jumping around and whatever. But yeah, look, I love the industry, Natalie. It was amazing. The idea, that first meeting I remember going to back 2006, whatever it was. A friend of mine invited me to a house meeting, and I thought, oh, yeah, okay, cool. A few drinks, a few bickies. And all of a sudden a whiteboard comes out and somebody starts drawing circles. And I thought, oh my God, this is a business opportunity. But I loved it. I loved it. The idea of being able to, the whole saying of, earn off somebody else's efforts was just, it intrigued me, and I fell in love with it. And it started a bit of a love-hate relationship for me over the years with network marketing, because it's, in and out of a bunch of companies, I realized that, it's what I wanted to do. You're always searching for that company that you love the most. There's always something exciting going on. Nothing more than where we are now, but essentially that's it. I got out of the restaurant game about 8 years ago. Been doing a bit of real estate as well, which I loved dearly, and it kind of fit right in. But this is what I want to do. This is what I love the most. I love it.
So before Livegood, just before Livegood, were you in another business? And how did you get to hear about Livegood? How did that work for you?
Look, I was in another business. I got to a stage in my network marketing career. I'd had my little successes. I did enjoy it, but I started getting tired of what I now know is known as the old model of network marketing, and it really is. I was with another company. I started to very quickly. I mean, I flew to the US and spent a fortune with my wife for 1 week for a conference. That's how committed I was. There were tears, there was drive, there was commitment. And we started off flying out of the gates with this company. I mean, when I get excited, I'm going to tell everybody about it. But what I found was, 2-3 months later, a month, 2 months later, we weren't getting anywhere near the volume that we had in our first month and 1.5 months. And it just reminded me again of what this industry traditionally is. It's always about volume. It's always about, starting again from the start every single month. And okay, we had a great month. Now let's start again. We achieved that rank. Let's go again now. We have to get back up. Natalie, make sure you're ordering, So yes, I was in another company, but what happened was I had enough. I had enough. Even though it got to a stage 3 months later, I thought, no, this. I started to lose interest, and my wife looked at me and she said, and this is common as well, where the spouse looks at you and says, "Don't you think it would have worked by now? You know, if it was going to work, don't you think it would have worked by now? We've spent enough money. Maybe we just let it go." And then look, I just had a. It's funny because early this year, I had a bunch of friends, 4 or 5 people that I knew, some that I knew better than others, approached me about Livegood. And they approached me in a funny sort of way. I mean, at that time, I was, full on doing my previous business. It was at the start of that, and they're all basically giving me the same message of, "Oh, Johnny, the latest health and wellness company. It's just the cheapest products you can get, But it's not what I wanted to hear. Nothing was registering. Another health and wellness company. No, not interested at all. And then, the Trevor, who decided to reach out to me after that, but he approached it in a different way. He basically talking to me about a membership club, how exciting. He was talking to me as well, asking me what I was doing, how I was going, how's the existing gig going, And all of a sudden he started talking about a membership club, a subscription model for the first time in network marketing, and I thought, oh wow, never heard that before.
No.
What was it? What's that about? Tell me a bit more about that. And when the more I started to understand that it was just like any subscription that we have, whether it's Costco, Netflix, Amazon Prime, apps for our phones, whatever, except it's something that makes you money by referring others, and also you're getting everything really cheap. I don't know. I kind of felt like I couldn't not give this a crack. How could I walk away from the industry totally not knowing what this subscription model was going to be like,
Yeah.
And that's how it felt. And he left it with me for about a week, and then all of a sudden FOMO kicked in because I started hearing about it. It's crazy. And I messaged him and I said, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. And then you jumped in. And when you first jumped in, as with everything, when it's brand new to you and to whoever is watching this video, did you instantly think, right, I'm going to give this 100%, or were you tiptoeing in? How did you feel? Can you remember when you first came?
It's funny because we do listen to the voices in our head sometimes. And because it was such a disruptive model, $10 a month, you don't have to buy anything, and when you do, the prices of the products are $10 and $15 instead of 80, 90, 130. There were too many little things in there that seemed a little bit too good to be true. So, and because I noticed that they were starting to make a lot of noise in the industry, it didn't take long to start seeing a bunch of leaders in the industry online bashing them and talking negatively about them. And I thought, calling them a scam and things like that. And I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure. They had, I don't know, just a few thousand, 30,000 members, 40, I don't even know. I can't remember back that long, but 50,000 members they had. So anything could have happened. And some leaders in the industry that I respected, were saying some things that created a little bit of doubt in my head. So I just sat back. And just watched. I ordered some products. Yes, it took 3 weeks to get here. I thought, oh, God, 3 weeks. But come on, Johnny, you're better than that. Who cares? 3 weeks, new product, new company. Give it some time. So to answer your question, I didn't go full on. Probably for, I don't know, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. Maybe I think I was just nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Lucy looking at me saying, "Honey, are you sure? I trust you, I love you, but are you sure?" And I really wasn't, and Trevor wasn't either. I think because I was feeding off his energy as well. I knew he was doing a couple of other things. He's got his consultancy business as well, whatever. So I didn't see him mentally all in. So I wasn't either. So that was the problem. That was the problem at the start. We needed to grow our belief.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it was a new company, and now we have so much social proof and belief that this company is legit. And
everything changed. Everything changed.
So you've mentioned Trevor a couple of times, and just for the viewers' sake, Trevor is our upline diamond, and I will actually be hopefully interviewing with him in the next couple of weeks. So stay subscribed, stay tuned, because that's going to be an amazing interview coming up too. So I think it's really interesting, Johnny, that you mention the way it was explained to you was really what made you jump in. And this might really help viewers as well that are perhaps thinking, how do I talk about Livegood? Because some people might perceive it as a health and wellness supplement company, but as you and I both know, there's a lot more to it than that. So for the viewers' sake, how would you describe Livegood now that you know as much as you know? And also, I think this will help people when they're also looking to share their opportunity for themselves.
Everything changed after that moment. And I mean, now it's funny because 5 months in now, I'll look at anybody, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to. When I've had this little saying here, and that's once Livegood gets under your skin, everything changes. You're not only unrecruitable, but there's nothing that anybody can say to sway you, nothing. So I'm at that stage now. So is Trevor. So are you. Here's an example. Let me just digress for a second. Here's an example of somebody who's never done this industry before, and Natalie comes along, and what you have done in this industry, you're the example. You should be the example of everybody else that's listening, but not me. Of course, I'm gonna provide everything that I can, but because I've had a little bit of experiences. I've done some sales, whatever. It's easy for someone to say, "Geez, Johnny talks a lot. He's that sort of a person. He's had that experience." But Natalie, your history and what you've done, or what you haven't done in this industry, and having achieved what you have, you are the perfect example. You are what people need to be seeing. Your viewers need to be seeing as, Natalie can do it, I can do it, because this is all about belief, this business. Yeah. But now I'll get back onto here. I just had to mention that because it really matters. It's funny because during my presentations, and I'm doing one tomorrow morning at my time, I always say that forget about everything you've ever known about this industry. Just forget about it. Forget about all the little rules and everything you've known, because this model of a subscription model is totally different to anything that any one of us has ever seen before. So think about it. The old model simply has, imagine, let me put it to you this way. Imagine you didn't have to purchase products every month. That's one of the problems of network marketing. You're forced to purchase products every month. But what makes it worse than being forced to, even though you don't need to order, let's say you have enough product for the month, you don't need to place an order this following month, but they force you to, because you have to stay qualified. You have to pay to play. They need volume. It's all about the volume that's generated every single month. So they force you to make purchases. And here's the kicker. Not only do they force you to pay, if you were forced to make a purchase every month and your orders, your products were going to cost you $10 and $15, that's not bad, right? But if you're going to be paying $70, $80, $90, $130 per product, you buy 2-3 products and you're looking at $200-$300, you can't do that every month. Most people can't do that every month. You know who can? The 1 or 2% that are making all the money at the top. That's who can. So the problem is that most people don't make money in this industry. So even though, as much as I loved it, there was always that voice in my head that always said, "Johnny, you love an industry that's making people broke." That's why you would look on YouTube and look up the word network marketing, the phrase, and there'd be a million videos from people, hurt people that had experienced something nasty in the industry and want to do a YouTube video about it. So there's a million of those. So the industry has hurt a lot of people over the years, without a doubt. And that I knew in the back of my head, and it bothered me. It bothered me enough to where 6 months ago I decided I've had enough. 7 months ago, I had enough. That's it. I'm walking away, regardless if I recently, 4 months earlier, started a new one. But so where was I going? I fly everywhere.
Yeah. So
sometimes.
We were talking about how this is different and how we can explain to others what this is compared to others. It's not just another health and wellness brand, is really the kind of thing as well.
It's not. That's the beautiful thing about it. I think once we understood that it's a membership club, that's what we're promoting. That's what we're sharing. We're sharing a membership club. I ask somebody, Natalie, why do you have a Costco membership? Well, because I love to go and shop there and receive some great discounts, right? Okay, so What about Amazon Prime? Well, because I know that I do some shopping and I can get discounts, so I can get my free shipping and things like that. Okay, so it's always, getting discounts, whatever. What if you had a platform just like let's say it was a Costco, let's say it was an Amazon that started off just like Amazon started with books 30 years ago, 29 years ago. What if you had a company that started with health and wellness? That's why they perceive it to be a health and wellness company. But soon they're going to be having everything you can think of on there. Household products, skincare, travel, essential oils are coming, water filters, right? At prices that nobody's ever seen before, prices that are seriously going to disrupt an entire industry, and they have already. So what if you had that? What if you had a membership club like that saved you a stack of money, almost cost price you'd be paying, but you can also make money as well by sharing it? Yeah. How's that for a membership club? So that's the language that I use. It's simply a membership club. I don't need to talk about, have a look at this new network marketing program or whatever, because that's essentially, it's not what it is. It's simply a platform that allows you to purchase what you want, when you want, if you want to, not because you have to. Anytime you want to order anything, you jump online from the comfort of your home and you order what you want. And you're going to pay $10 a month for that luxury. It's ridiculous. So I think it's, when you think of it like that it's just a membership club accessing whatever you want. I feel like checking out some travel today. I want some essential oils, whatever it is, you get on and you purchase. And that's all. And you can get paid by sharing that with others, because your friends want to know what you're doing. They will want to know. They don't want to know whether you're in Amway, but they do want to know if you're with a program that saves them a bunch of money on everyday purchases. They want to know that. Look at the economy. Who doesn't want to save some money? It's a no-brainer. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree as well. And I think, like you, when I first came in, I kind of just jumped into, and then I learned what everything was about. And I thought I was probably jumping into a health and wellness brand as well. But now we know this is just the beginning. This is a platform that can have anything it wants on it. And, timing is really vital. So yeah, look, we're here now, and it's less than 9 months old, or 10 months old. I lose track. But look, this is an exciting time to join this company. You share with a few people, who knows where it can go, because you don't know who knows who. And it's just a case of talking about it, sharing it however which way you want to, and you can make money from doing that. So let's talk about your experience, Johnny. So you're a platinum ranked affiliate now with Livegood. What does that mean for the viewers? Explain what that means, and how did you get there? How does it work?
Well, platinum, that's the 4th rank, I believe. We got bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, which requires a minimum of 500 people in your team, which is fantastic. Essentially, that's it. I mean, it's 500. There's a couple of little conditions attached. You can either do one or the other. You can have three separate gold members in your team, plus a team of 500, or you can personally sponsor 100 people, which most don't. I mean, you don't need to go out there and sponsor 100 people. If you can just plan it strategically to have 3 goals and just grow your team. So, and then work with your team. That's the key here. That's one of the keys to my success. I got to platinum with 500 people because I spent time with my team developing. So if I had, for example, I had, Dr. Erin, who's an amazing leader. I worked with her. She ran with it. She got it just like me. She ran, and that was it. So in about 4 months, I got to that.
Amazing.
It was great.
Amazing.
Yeah, really good.
About 2,400 people now in your team?
Yeah, I think it's around 2,400, closing on 2.5. 2.5 is what we need for Diamond, but Diamond has a couple of other little conditions attached to it, which I now need to focus on, make sure that I get them in place, Cool. So, but Diamond's next.
Diamond is, of course it is. Absolutely. There's no doubt it's next for you. And how many personals have you got, people that you personally enrolled? Out of those 2,400 people, how many have you actually enrolled?
I think there's around 50.
Around 50. So that just shows the power of this and how exponentially it can grow. You don't, it's not just about you. It's not like, how am I going to find all these people? Look at what
the point is, look, if I look on my whiteboard in front of me and look at my 50 people, seriously, most of them are doing nothing.
Okay.
So don't think that you need to go out there and sponsor. Look at Trevor. Trevor just hit diamond with 22 personals. So it's not about quantity, it's about quality. I mean, if you just happen to be able to somehow pluck out of your phone, 5 leaders that we're going to just run with this, you only need 5. But that's not for but not everybody's in that position. I'm certainly not.
No, I'm
I I just had to reach out, and that was it. I just reached out to people. I just reached out. Look, when you're building a business such as this, you're building a side hustle. For most people, it's a bit of a side hustle. It's a side business to give them a few $100s a month, pay some bills, pay the mortgage, pay some groceries, whatever, because times are tough. Don't worry about that 1 or 2 people that you might know might show on Instagram that, driving around in Porsches and stuff like that. No, man, times are tough. People are struggling. So that's who I'm looking. That's who I want. I want the stories of someone that, so I had somebody join me 3 days ago who's seriously had a tough time. He's in the US, in Detroit, a couple of beautiful little girls, and needs it. We got emotional on the call. That's who I want. That's the story that I want. That's the person that I want to help get their 2 people.
Yeah.
Because that's really, we talk about, you asked me a question about how many I might have sponsored, and we talk about 50 and 100. Some people have sponsored 300. That's ridiculous numbers. But most people that are even watching this, your audience, don't worry about that. Don't worry about the 100 and the 50, whatever. You really just, the key to this was get 2 people, and then we just show them how to get 2. And how do we do that? I've got Zoom calls, for example, 2-3 times a week. I say to my people, new and existing, please, all we're doing here is sharing this great little $10 membership. Let's go find you 2 people. And then when we find those 2, bring them back here. Let me talk to them. Let me get them a little bit excited on this Zoom and get them to get there too. Because that's all. When they keep it simple, as if you can build, what we say is if you can build a little bronze factory of 2 people, 2 people, 2 people, you'll have a fantastic little business.
Yeah.
You'll have a great little business. You don't need 5,000. You might, okay, let's say you bring in, 7 in order for those 2 to be okay. So what? That's okay. It's not, why does it have to be that easy? Why do people want to jump online and, do something, outside of their current work or outside of their family hours and things like that? It's not going to be, how can they expect it to be that easy? If it was that easy, nobody would have full-time jobs. There'd be no 9-to-5s. Everybody would be doing this if it was that easy. So it has to be difficult. Let's not call it, excruciating, because it's not. This one is the easiest conversation that I've ever had in my 17 years, in my 17 companies, the last roughly 17 years. Oh my God. So if you're ever going to stretch yourself and get uncomfortable and get a little bit nervous about doing something like this with Natalie, this is the one you want to be doing, because it's the easiest conversation. And you have us, you have Natalie, you have me, you have Trevor, so we've got a great little coaching group that we make sure we teach you the how to find your 2, So I just want to keep it simple always. And that's the key to this program.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And we are so lucky that we've got these Zoom calls, like you're doing them in your time zone. I'm doing them in my time zone. We share between each other. And so we've got lots of support as well, which is awesome. And I've recently made my YouTube course as well. So if somebody does want to do YouTube, yes, that's part of my team offering, which is also cool. But yeah, you're totally right, Johnny. You don't need to be thinking, how am I going to find 50 people? That seems terrifying. There are plenty of people that are just building with far fewer personally enrolled than that. So that is also really important to know. Really important to know. I'm just going to end the Zoom call on your final thoughts, advice, and anything that you might have for people that are considering this opportunity. Let's end it with that one, because that's always a great question.
Come and join us, firstly. I promise you, don't be one of those people in 2 years' time, and there will be plenty of them in 2 years' time that sit there and say, oh my God, I was there. I was there 2 years ago when they had less than 1 million members, when Natalie was trying to get me to look at the business. Don't be one of those. that said, I was there and I missed it. Can I join now? Well, you probably can join, but we'll have 5 million members. You know what I mean? So seriously, if there was ever going to be a time for, you know, taking the punt and doing something for you and your family, if you really want to, you've got to ask yourself, what do you want? Now, I'm looking at the time where we've got plenty of time, but you need to ask, what do you want? If you truly want to build something special for you and your family, if you want to be the hero to walk in and say, sweetheart, we've done it. Look, this company's working. I just made my first $500. I just ranked up. If you really want those scenarios, then this is the program. It really is. And I've seen them all. I've got people chasing me for all sorts of programs. I've never in my life said so many no's and been so focused than I am here. So come and join us, number one. Number two, just be coachable. Listen to what we're saying, to what Natalie's saying, you know, and the advice that we have. Know what you want and just get through the first few months. Get through the first few ranks. Let's get you your 2 people, get you to bronze. Then you'll get to silver. But the biggest thing you need to make sure you understand is don't come in here expecting to earn $1 million in your first 2 months or, you know, thousands of dollars. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a race. It's a marathon. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's something that we have in our compensation plan. It's called the matching bonus. There's a few other things in there, right? We've got matrix, we've got fast starts, we've got blah, blah, blah. But there is something called the matching bonus. If there is anything that you take away and that you understand or that gets you excited about Livegood, it's that matching bonus. There is nothing else. For a $10 program, there is nothing else on the planet in this industry that's going to pay the size of checks that we're going to see in this industry because of the matching bonus. And without saying too much about it, it's really about if Natalie's if I sponsor Natalie and she runs with this, there's a part of the compensation plan that she earns, I earn half. Okay, so she earns in that part of from her matrix. If she earns $1,000, I earn $500. If she earns $2,000, I earn $1,000. Imagine having 10 Natalies. But it gets better than that. You get paid deeper and deeper and deeper, generation after generation, as you rank up. Doesn't matter if that sounds like Chinese to you, but I'm just telling you that part of the compensation plan is phenomenal, and that's where I'm going to end it. I'm excited. I'm starting to get warm again because when I have this conversation, I heat up. I love it, Natalie. I love you. Thank you so much for the invitation. I hope that was okay.
It was brilliant. It was way better than okay. I loved talking to you, and I always love talking to you. Your energy is fire, and you're a brilliant example of what's possible. You know, this is doable. This is doable.
It is. Come and join us. Come and join us. Oh my God.
And it's good fun. I mean, that's the great thing, isn't it? Are you having fun? Because you look like you're having fun.
I love it. I've never enjoyed it like I am now.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Exactly. And you've been there and done that, and you've been in a few companies. So we will end it there. But thank you so much, Johnny, for all of your time, as always. And I'm sure I will speak to you again later today because we're always on the phone. Have a great evening. For you, it's the evening. For me, it's the morning. And appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Johnny.
Have a beautiful day. Thanks, Natalie. Oh, don't you dare say Nat.